Hi, welcome. I am Justine. In this session, we shall be talking about how to inject conflict into your scenes. The scenes are where you inject conflict. To maintain the energy of the plot, opposition is fundamental. Conflict keeps the plot moving forward. It creates obstacles for the main character and allows the audience to move emotionally through the plot with the characters. Every single scene in a crime novel must contain conflict. It's important to know that without conflict, there is no suspense and there is no story. If the characters go through life, get along with everyone, and do nothing of great importance, the scene will not hold reader interest. So how do you inject conflict into your scenes? There are 6 ways of doing this. You can use internal and external conflicts. Consider adding high stakes. Add the inner struggles of the protagonist. Keep the antagonist in the mind of the protagonist. Spice up the scenes by changing setting. Add aspects of urgency. To go back to number 1, earlier on you learned about internal and external conflicts. Use this and be creative so that you can inject realistic disputes into your writing. Make sure the argument is crucial and tied to the character's goals. Engage the protagonist in opposition encounters with the antagonist to advance the conflict in each scene. But conflict alone may not always be enough to build tension. So consider adding high stakes to raise the cost of failure and increase the reward for success. Keep raising the stakes, intensify the push and pull between the antagonist and protagonist. Allow the tension to rise and ebb in each scene and as the conflict advances towards the climax. But don't forget to add the inner struggles of the protagonist. Make them face their fears, uncertainty in making decisions, flawed, and make them remarkably complex. And keep asking, what secret is the protagonist keeping? Is the protagonist hesitant, impulsive, or skeptical? And what is she or he going to do next? Number 4, keep the antagonist in the mind of the protagonist. In his or her thoughts, in conversations with other characters, make her remember a recent confrontation with the antagonist and keep alive that persistent, painful reminder of a threatening showdown. Sometimes you can spice up the scenes by changing the setting or the scenery. Instead of the ordinary environment, try an isolated place in a dangerous area or an eerie, risky place which induces anxiety. Think about the threatening thunderstorm on the horizon and a squeaking door in the middle of the night, or a watchful neighbor who is just a little strange. Let the protagonist visit or pass by her childhood home where they had a traumatic experience in the past, or a mysterious place where they know the antagonist is carrying out suspicious, sinister activities. And number 6, add aspects of urgency to the scenes. The tick-tock of the clock, the countdown as the protagonist races against time to stop the antagonist before he perfects that ominous nuclear bomb. These are the various ways you can inject conflict into your scenes. Your story will stand out if it has engaging conflicts with entertaining scenes and captivating characters, and of course, high quality writing. On the plot level, other conflicts may run parallel to the major conflict. For example, in the Traitor's Philology, the main character Martina is bent on stopping the evil cabal from killing off 95% of the world population. But at the same time, she discovers that her late father had a business connection with one of the members of the cabal. She sets out to explore this angle too, which creates another conflict. The major conflict is crucial, and the minor conflicts are necessary to raise the stakes as long as they are realistic and serve to spice up the scenes and demonstrate vital facets of the characters. After you have written your scene, you need to analyze it and make sure that it creates obstacles between your main character and their goal. But limit the conflict to what is relevant in that specific scene. Less is more. Remember that the tension in conflict is progressive and can only slowly be built up. Paint your scene, satisfy your message, and move on. A scene can be perfect right up to the point it begins to drag. You have to cut away before that happens. Your task now is to inject realistic disputes in your scenes, entertain and captivate your audience. Good luck!